Hello, everyone. Just trying to wait for a few minutes so that others could join. I don't know if others are having issues, so I'm trying to connect. I want to see if okay, let's kickstart and probably others will join us as soon as they can get connected. But let me also say that this is going to be recorded. It's recorded presently, and you can actually find the video in the YouTube channel each time you want to come back to it. So you can actually have the knowledge you want to get from it later on. So it's going to be recorded, okay? So let me know where you're joining us from. Okay, I know few people are going to be in Nigeria. Let's know where you're joining us from. Okay. Okay. First and foremost, my name is Akinola Jeremiah. I'm a Forex trader. I'm the senior analyst for Image Global Forex. We're just starting up a new company, and the motive why we're coming in life is we have the passion for actually investing in other traders too, and see how we can help everyone to also have a knowledge about the forex market. A lot of junks are out there, and it's not to find when you go there and you see a lot of people trying to invest their money and trying to make changes for themselves or in regards to the situation of the country. But then you still find a lot of trainers and tutors still ripping people off their financial wealth. It's really touched me, and I felt to set the pace right, I need to start something. And to help a lot of people that I could also assist in getting the knowledge they deserve and trying to make them understand more about the forex market. Okay, so that's all about me and Image Global Forex. Let's dive straight into um, the topic of the day: trading psychology, the basics of a successful trader. So most people traders actually find themselves into a kind of scenario that uh, they can get enough knowledge to what their trading career is all about. Okay, so they just get into the forex market because one person is making money from the forex market, and they felt, well, if he's doing that, I should be able to do the same. Okay, so most time it doesn't always go that way. Okay, you have to understand the trading psychology of forex before you start investing your money into the forex market. Okay, now so all said and done, let's dive into it, and we're going to be looking into the power of the mind. Okay, and where is our mind have? Okay, when you want to um, get involved in the forex market, and the brain is actually designed to serve us. The brain is the major concept of you trading the forex market. Okay, but generally the brain is designed to serve us. But as far as I know, and as far as I've checked, I discovered that we are the one in turn serving the brain. So in diverse reaction, okay. Instead of the brain giving to us, we are giving back to the brain, and some of these things actually collide. Some of these actually affect our performance when it comes to the forex market. Okay, so it's more or less like you have the brain, more or less like a sponge. I know you have understanding of what a sponge is. So just more or less like a sponge. Okay, and I don't know. This looks like something else, but you'll be able to understand what I'm trying to talk about. It just has some holes in it, but right inside it can actually hold anything. Okay, whatever you give to the brain, it accepts it. Okay, take for instance, I tell you anything now and try as much as possible not to listen to it. You find it very difficult because the brain will actually accept it, the brain will accommodate it. Do you understand? And most important thing, when that thing deal um, deals with fear, okay, when it deals with fear in the market, okay. Let me get this off. Guess, okay, now so guess we're good right now. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. So um, anything that does with fear, okay, the brain is actually almost connecting to it, reacts to it, and the forex market actually carries a weight that a lot of people in time past have had issues with it, but when it comes to now, anybody that tells you about the forex market, you want to pause a little bit and say, "Well, am I going to invest my money? Do you want me to lose my money? Am I going to lose everything and stuff like that?" Because of the fear that is connected to the forex market, it becomes very difficult for the brain to actually filter out certain things that you need to know, and that is a problem a lot of people have today. They don't find it easy to actually get involved into the forex market. When you tell them about the forex market, they're always afraid. They always want to pause a little bit. What did you say, forex? No, 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 no. I'm not going to invest my money into it. But then when you look at it from the other perspective, if you have the understanding of what the forex market is, the brain can help you to filter out the junks and you'll be able to accept it and say, this is something I want to get involved with. Okay. So then we want to look at what are the objectives? What are the objectives of the power of the mind, the brain itself? What is your brain capable of doing? Is your brain capable of getting certain holds into the forex market? Okay, does your brain have the capability to um, kind of absorbing some things that you need to know about the forex market, certain things that also entails in the forex market when it comes to losses, when it comes to trading? Do you have the brain's capability to do some of these things in the forex market? Secondly, we also want to look at how you can make your brain to listen to you. Okay, you need to make your brain to listen to you, listen to whatever you want to do. Then, then how does it affect your trading? And what does it mean for your trading? When you have your brain intact and you have all your mind at one position, what does your brain do? How does your brain react to your trading career? And we have been able to identify certain problems that actually affects the brain generally when it comes to the forex market, and we will be looking into those. Yeah, yes, this thing is triggering again. Sorry, I just need to get this. Okay, we'll bring this in. Right, so let's go again. Okay, so the next thing we need to look at is what are the problems? Okay, and one of the problems that I've, in the long run, tried to understand is education. Education. Okay, most times you find a lot of traders having enough experience. They have a lot of knowledge when it comes to trading. My experience with a lot of traders is they tend to have lot of experience, lot of knowledge on the forex market, okay, but then it doesn't reflect in their trading results. They know each candles, they know each reversal, they know every formations that are in the market. They have knowledge of every reversal in the market, but then with all the knowledge they have, how has that affected their trading results? They still find themselves losing on daily basis, which is one of the most important thing that has actually affected a lot of traders till today. Okay, they've gone to YouTube, they've gone online to acquire knowledge, they read um, articles, they read novels, they read books about the forex, how to understand this forex market, how to understand this candlestick, how to do this, and some of those things they put them together. They have the knowledge, but when it comes to them replicating that into their forex trading, it becomes very difficult. So, and all through their knowledge, they still have losses. They dwell too much on education. They dwell too much on the educational aspect and leave the logical aspect of the trading. Listen, every successful traders have to try as much as possible to know how the forex market can be interpreted into their day-to-day activity. Listen to me. um, it's not possible for you to go to the market. Let's assume we have Alaba International Market right here in Nigeria, and you have an Igbo guy trying to promote his sell his goods, his television and stuff like that. It doesn't dwell on the education and trying to know this is it doesn't need education to tell him this is when it's time for me to buy, this is the right time for me to sell. Even most of them, when they buy at more lesser price when the price is accommodating, and they hoard that product, they keep it to the time that the market demands for it, and at that time they sell at higher price. So you don't need education. You need to interpret the market to your day-to-day life. You have to think logically. If buyers and sellers are in the market, okay, when is the right time for me to buy and when is the right time for me to sell? Do you understand? We always think logically to every reaction of the market. Leave education for once, okay? Don't focus too much on education. A lot of educated people have not made it in the forex market. Take Big Gate for instance. This guy um, had a story of not finishing up his education at the time he became known to the public. Do you understand? Ryan Buffett has his own history too. Most of these people didn't dwell on the educational aspect of the forex market. They look at the logical aspect of the forex market and try as much as possible to interpret the forex market, the reaction in the forex market to their day-to-day life. And that has made them successful till date. My mentor told me, he said, Jerry, if you want to be successful in the forex market, leave education. I don't know um, um, the names of all the candles. I don't know the name of all the reversal. If you ask me that, I may not be able to give you answers to that. But then I only look at the market and interpret the market to my day-to-day life and see how it fits into the forex market, and I'm able to get successful in my trading career. Okay, so first and foremost, the problem people have in the forex market is education. Second is timing. They know where the market is heading. They know, have the understanding of where the market is going to. But then they have problem with timing. When is the right time for me to actually get into the market? And this is a problem for a lot of traders today. Okay, a lot of them always call me. Some of them call me and say, Jerry, I see the market. Tell me when is the right time for me to buy? When is the right time for me to sell? And my sincere answer to that is, let's assuming we have 10 people in this room, okay? We have 10 people in this room, and we have 7 of them has an iPhone, okay? And the remaining 3 of them have an Android phone. Okay, but then one of them who has an Android phone desires to buy an iPhone. Right in that same room, when is the right time for him to buy an iPhone? And your guess is as good as mine, is that when one of the 7 that has an iPhone is ready and willing to sell his iPhone, then that is the right time for him to buy. You understand? You don't just buy an iPhone because someone is buying, because everybody is buying. If everybody have an iPhone, everybody is buying an iPhone, and you want to buy an iPhone because everybody is buying an iPhone, you end up buying from the buyers themselves rather than waiting for someone in the market willing to sell that same iPhone. Then you can actually buy from him. So the right time is always stated there, but then because we are too engrossed with the knowledge of the market, you can see the market heading down. The market on the larger time frame is going down, but then I can see it, but then I don't know when to actually get in. Most of us get in too early. It's either you get in too early or too late, or you exit too early and you also exit too late, because you have no clue of further information to the timing. And these are affected a lot of traders today. The timing, very, very important. And these are things that works with the mind. If you don't program your mind to um, the point whereby you can say, it's time for me to buy, it's time for me to sell, then you have a lot of problem actually trading in the forex market. Okay, so the third thing we're going to talk about is overwhelm. Okay, this will look more of I don't want you to confuse this. Okay, because you have an idea of what you needed in the forex market. Okay, and you know a lot of people are making money in the forex market, they are getting involved in the forex market and stuff like that. Then you want to make a research, you want to go on YouTube, have information about the forex market and what kind of strategy can you use to actually invest in the forex market and be profitable. And listen, this is one big problem a lot of traders have. Okay, and basically it affects them so much that in their quest for information on the internet or the YouTube, in order for their success and their trading career to grow higher, do you understand, they have encountered a lot of people on the internet, a lot of strategies, and this information begins to conflict each other. Do you understand? It begins to conflict one another, and they can actually identify which is best and which is not. You have this one talking about this strategy, the M strategy, the W strategy, and you have another one talking about the moving averages and stochastic, whatever strategy they use to actually trade in the forex market. Because you want to be successful, you find yourself in between all this information, and it becomes very junk to the extent that your brain finds it very difficult to actually program and filter out which one is good for you. Do you understand? I've joined a lot of groups whereby the teaching of the forex market is basically strategy. But sincerely, Strategy that works for Mr. A is not also the strategy that will probably work for Mr. B, because we have different capability of the mind. Your IQ is different from my own IQ. The fact that you'll be able to understand this particular strategy doesn't mean that the second person is going to be able to understand that same strategy. We as traders find ourselves in midst of all this, and it affects our results when it comes to trading. Do you understand me? So you need to leave strategies, and don't get yourself entangled with too many different strategies that won't work for you and leading you more to failure. Okay, don't get yourself entangled with all the strategies that are there in the forex market. Listen, you need to know the market, understand why the market is moving in certain reactions, in directions. Okay, you have that understanding that market is going up, right? And once market begins to go up, you have the buyers, you have the sellers. These are informations you need in the forex market. It is not the strategy. Do you understand? When you have that information and you have the knowledge about the forex market, you have the way the market actually moves, then it becomes very easy for you to develop your own strategy. You need to develop your own strategy, not looking for other people's strategy and actually making profit in the forex market. I don't teach my own strategies, okay? I can only tell you what you need to know about the forex market, how the forex market has been able to actually blend in a certain way, certain reactions that I have been able to employ this particular strategy. Then if you have that same understanding, then it becomes very easy for you to develop a particular strategy that is going to work for you. Before I started making profit from the forex market, I was losing a lot. Okay, I had lost a lot of money in the forex market, but then I still held on to it because I know fully well that this is what is going to give me a certain thing that I require in the forex market. Right now, the only thing I needed was I needed to filter out the junks on the internet. Okay, and I look for a mentor, a coach, basically not in Nigeria, but then I know he was doing very well in the forex market. So I reached out to him and he opened my eyes to the forex market. So far, so good. For about 3, 4, 5 years, that I've been able to get coached under him. He has never for once mentioned to me strategies. He has not mentioned market formations. He has not mentioned manipulations in the market. But then you have a lot of traders coming in and telling you about manipulations of the forex market, and you begin to wow and say, what do you say? Do you understand? So you only need to know the knowledge of the forex market, how the forex market actually move, then you can now develop your own strategy. So we go to the fourth point of the problems that a lot of traders encounter in the forex market, which is pre-post analysis. Do you understand? A lot of traders I've met with, okay, generally they do more research on everything related to their lifestyle. If they want to find out anything about one particular thing or the other, they can go on internet, they can go on social media and make researches about that thing. Even in their school, they want to write a particular project, they can do a lot of research. Do you understand? For that particular project. But when it comes to trading, they don't do a pre-research, they don't do a post-research about that particular. They don't do the analysis properly. They just get into the forex market and say, okay, because everybody is buying, now I need to buy. Do you understand? The market is going down, the market is going down. Everybody get into the market and start buying. That is wrong. You need to know why you want to get in the market. You need to want to know why the market is reacting at particular direction. You need to know the why. You need to make more research. Do you understand? Check. Are we in a trend line? Are we in a range? What kind of market are we? Are we in the buyer's market or the seller's market? Make your pre-analysis. It's very important. If you fail in your pre-analysis, sincerely, no matter how successful you think you are, you're going to lose. And when you have made your pre-analysis and you are sure, okay, I have a pre-analysis of, I know what is going to happen, I know when I need to get in. And once you have gotten into the market and you have taken and executed a trade, have you done a post-analysis? Okay, the market is going in this direction. Okay, give me a few minutes. Hello? Sorry, I just got my landlord telling me that there's light, so I had to jump on there. Okay, so let's continue. Your pre-post analysis, very, very important. You need to know what is happening, okay, when you are in the market. Okay, you have that important task to do and say, okay, if the market is going in my direction, okay, what am I expecting the market to do later on? Okay, and these are very important thing every trader has to do before he can get success from a particular trade or not. Okay, so we don't always do our research on our day-to-day life and leave your research on what is going to fetch you money and leave it alone. You have to be sure of your research. I've always told my traders, see, as long as you have an information of the direction of the market and you follow that same direction of the market, you have the opportunity of having a win-win situation in the forex market. Do you understand? As long as you have the right formation of the forex market and you can do your analysis properly, you have the opportunity of winning in the forex market. So let's go to the next, which is one of the most important aspects of this training, which is your emotions. You've always had the concept trade your emotions. Do you understand? Everybody says that. Almost everybody says it. Everybody I've talked about and say, hey, understand trade your emotions. But then, how many people actually do that and trade their emotions? If you cannot control your emotions when it comes to the forex market, when it comes to making a particular decision, then you will find it very difficult to be successful in that same trade. Because when your emotions get involved with your decision, you will always be wrong. When your emotions get involved in your decisions, you will always be wrong. Take it or leave it. So you must try as much as possible to get involved. Do you understand? You must try as much as possible to control your emotions. You must trade your emotions. You don't just get into the market and you start reacting. There are certain types of emotion. One is sudden reactions. The first time you see a particular move in the forex market, it grips you and you begin to wonder and say, hey, what's that? What's that move? You want to pause. That sudden reaction could trigger you into making the wrong decisions before it is done. You can make the right decision even before it's time for you to actually get into the market. I say, oh wow, that trade just got my attention, and you begin to get this kind of conception between your mind and say, what am I going to do? Should I sell or should I buy? Because your decisions and everything you want to decide is controlled by your emotions. And most of the time, because of your emotion, you are in a particular trade and you see the market begins to go against you because your emotion is connected with your decision. You want to trigger a different reaction and say, probably I wasn't in the right market, probably I had to sell. But then because you have done your pre-analysis properly, and when you get into the market and the trade start going in the other direction, you have enough time to be patient enough and say, I know that the market is going towards my directions. Okay, you patiently wait and don't just take sudden decisions because you see a spike in the market and you are in the wrong trade and you start fidgeting. Okay, calm down. Okay, always calm your nerve down. Don't react on every decisions in the market. Okay, the activity of the market is to create that reaction, and once that reaction comes in, you make a negative decision. So, but then you use that reaction and say, hey, I've entered this rate, I've given my analysis was correct, even if it is wrong, even if your analysis was wrong. The first thing is not to react, because most time a lot of people, market is moving to the upside. Okay, and once market moves to the upside, you have everybody coming into the market, right? And the big guys are coming in right here, the big guys are coming in right here, and once price begins to go down, you jump in right here. Okay, and price started going against you. If you take a drastic reaction because of the price reaction, you find yourself actually exiting this trade. Say, wow, okay, I guess it's a sell now, right? But then you don't know that right there, because of your reaction, you get out, price started heading back up. So you need to understand that you don't put your emotion in front of the forex market. Don't put your emotions in front of the forex market. Okay, so number two thing you need to look at is fear. Yeah, a lot of us have this fear, and your fear is controlled by your emotions. Okay, I tell a lot of traders who come around to meet with me and say, Jerry, my biggest problem is I'm always afraid to get into the market. And it happens to everybody. Okay, you're always afraid to actually get into the market, even if you have given your pre-analysis and your pre-analyses are correct. You've given the odds, you've looked into the odds, and you see that those analyses were right. But then for you to get into the market, you're always afraid. Listen, you're afraid in the wrong direction. Even the Bible says that we should have fear. Do you understand? The Bible wants us to have fear. But when your fear is controlling your thoughts and your fear is controlling your decision, it becomes very difficult. You want your fear to direct your decision, not control it. So when you're always afraid to take a particular decision, when you're always afraid to buy, then because of that, you might enter and take a harsh decision, and you trigger certain things that you shouldn't have triggered in the forex market. Listen, don't always be fearful in the forex market. Okay, don't exercise fear. There's several times that I've gotten into the market because of fear of what is going to happen next. Okay, and I exited the trade, and right after I've exited the trade, market start going in my favor. And most times, a lot of traders, because of fear, once they get in and market start going up, market moves in a zigzag format. Okay, it moves up and down, and once market start doing that, and you just find a trader entering right here, okay, and market head up, and because price is coming down, they decide to exit the trade. Why? Fear has allowed him to exit the trade, not knowing that price right there is capable of still going back up. And he started biting his fingers and said, wow, why did I get out of trade? It happens to a lot of us. But then, if you can control your fear and let it listen to you, you have potential of actually becoming successful in the forex market. It's very, very important. Don't you ever leave it alone. Okay, don't you ever leave it alone. Okay, so most importantly, we also want to look at this other aspect, which is our mood. Okay, our mood. Our mood basically is our happiness. Control happiness, or you can actually put it sad. I don't want to add sadness to it, but it's part of it. Okay, when you get into a particular trade, what's your reaction? Are you happy that, okay, I've got into this trade and trade is moving in your favor, and you exited the trade, you're happy? What of when the trade goes against you, or when you have a losing trade? What is your mood? Do you still find enough joy to contain that negative trade and learn from it? Because every negative trade that you take, you should always learn from it. You should always learn from it. It's very, very important that when you take a negative trade, you want to learn from it, see why that trade happened. Okay, see why the trade happened in that direction, then you learn from it. In the next trade, you don't let it happen. Okay, you should always have a kind of mood that will help you to actually continue trading in a successful manner, not the one that will trigger you into making harsh decisions. You understand? Because you lost this trade, or God, that's bad, right? I lost that trade and it touches me, and the next trade you jump into it without sitting down and analyzing your trade properly and looking at the odds, you continue to make losses, and accumulation of losses, you will end up closing that account. Okay, so that's all about emotions. Okay, one other thing we'll talk about is greed. Okay, greed, very, very important. A lot of us find ourselves in this scenario. Okay, we're always greedy. Okay, everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to be like Davido. Everybody wants to everybody wants to buy the Ferrari, the iPhone 11, and stuff like that. You want to make that million in a day, and I don't actually blame you for that reaction, because we are designed that way, even right from the onset. If you look at it, every individual is greedy, but then you have to accept the fact that you are greedy, and you try as much as possible to push it aside. When you get greedy in every little thing and you bring it into the forex market, hey my friend, hey, take it easy. You lose your money. You lose all your money. You can't be greedy with the forex market. Ryan Buffett was asked a particular question. I don't know if I have the video here, but someday I'm going to play the video and show everybody. He was asked a question and said, can you define the forex market? And he said, the forex market is a platform where the money is actually, where the money is taken from the impatient and given to the patient. Where the money is taken from the greedy and given to the person that is not greedy. When you're greedy in the forex market, you want to buy your Ferrari, you want to use the Lamborghini and stuff like that. Hey, my friend, you will end up losing in the forex market. Don't get greedy when it comes to forex. Don't get greedy. These guys won't pity you. Okay. Number 7 thing we will look at is patience. Okay, and probably this I don't know, this will be the last one we're going to talk about. Patience. No matter the knowledge you have, no matter how you're able to trade the forex market, if you're not patient enough, you can never be successful in the forex market. If you are not patient enough, you can never succeed in the forex market. And out of even forex, it happens to us generally. We are not patient. Even when you're driving to your house, you see a lot of issues on the road, car accidents and stuff like that. If you analyze properly and know the reason why it happened, it's because of they were not patient for each other. Everybody is always rushing. The boss in the office is right there, but then there is a subordinate under him who wants to get to that position at all means, at all costs. He doesn't want to wait for his time, and this happens everywhere. Even Adam and Eve, they were not patient, and it became a problem to every individual. We are always rushing at things, always rushing at things, always rushing in making decisions, always rushing in getting there, always rushing to do things. But when it comes to the forex market, I'm going to implore you that you are always patient. Please, always be patient when it comes to the forex market. And every successful traders must learn how to be patient. If you're going to be successful, you must learn how to be successful, how to be patient. Okay, so what are the solutions to all this? Okay, we are rounding up right now. I don't want this video to be too long, so we are rounding up very soon. We're going to look at these 9 things. Okay, so number 1, stop trading your education with your expectation. Okay, stop trading your education with your expectation. Don't put too much of education in front, and the logical thing that you need to put in place to get a particular result, you're expecting that, okay, at this particular fund, I want to make this amount of money. Okay, when you have your education with it, you are not going to get successful. Okay, stop trading your education. Forget, first and foremost, what I want you to do right now, because in this YouTube channel, I'm going to be releasing content in this. I'm going to be having trainings in this YouTube channel, and it's going to be for free. I'm not going to be charging anybody for any dime, and I'm going to give you that same knowledge I got when I went for the training, and I paid $1,389 to learn the forex market. It took me 52 weeks to learn forex and to attain this knowledge that I have. But do we find people who are patient enough? Even those who are outside and saying they are trading people in forex market, they tell you that come and give us 150, come and give us 250, and we'll train you in 2 weeks. We'll train you in 1 week. How do you do that? Learn forex in 1 week? Even the Bill Gates and the Ryan Buffett and these top traders don't do forex in 1 week. So you, right in this YouTube channel, you need to subscribe. In this YouTube channel, I'm going to be giving content free of charge. Everything you need to learn about forex, we're going to put it here. Ask me questions. I'll pull up the questions together, and we're going to set up a training for that purpose. Okay, so number 2 thing, apply logic to your trading. Apply logic to your trading. Don't always concentrate on education. The education you went to for 4 years, 7 years in some cases, how much has it given to you? Nada. I'm working with a company here in Nigeria. Um, who are we? Okay, and I know the amount of money I get paid until I forced myself to sit down and understand that if I'm trading, how much do I make in a day? I make $500 in a day. I make $300 in a day. In a week, I'm making $1,000. Automatically, I'm paying myself a salary that is above the salary that I've been collecting inside that same company. But then when it comes to the forex, leave education, leave your knowledge about education, forget the candlesticks and whatever candle or stuff like that. Apply logic to it first. When you have the logical understanding about the forex market, then your education can now guide you to making certain decisions. Number 3, don't allow fear to control you. Let it guide you. Don't allow your fear to control you. A lot of us, our fear volume is very high. The fear volume is high. Okay? Sorry, I don't know how to use that properly. Okay? Our fear volume is very high. But then, when your fear volume is high, it will always control whatever decisions you make. But then, reduce your fear volume. If you reduce your fear volume to the barest minimum, it's going to guide you. So always allow your fear to guide you rather than controlling you. Okay? The 4th thing, take responsibilities. You had a loss today, good and fine. Go through why did you get into that trade in the first place. Learn from those mistakes and move on, and stop dwelling on the past and saying, wow, I had lost and stuff like that, and you keep lamenting and you don't want to proceed forward. Hey guy, I have lost 3 million in 24 hours. I'll show you a proof. Lost 3 million in 24 hours. But then, that was how many years ago? And right here, I am still trading. I'm still trading. Because I let it go. I went back to look at what made me have that loss. And I try as much as possible to control it. And moved on. 5, follow the market and not your account. A lot of you keep looking at your account. You want your account to grow into $10,000, $200,000, $1 million. Hey, guy, take it easy. Rome was not built in a day. It takes slow and steady. Gradually, you make your $5. A lot of my friends ask me and say, "Hey, do you think it's easy to watch others driving car and these are your friends and you don't feel like it's time for you to also do the same?" Say, hey, you don't look at anybody's career to build your own career. You have to take it one after the other. And each time you look at your account, you want your account to grow, you want your account to be in millions, you want your account to be in billions, you end up losing more of your trades than the wins. But then you look at the market, look for opportunities in the market. Where can I get in? I don't bother about my account's growth. I'm bothered about the amount of profit I can make from the market. 6, set a long-term goal. Okay, by so reasonable long-term goal though. By the period of 2020, okay, 2020, I want to have my account grow to about 10%. Okay, and don't just jump into actually looking at your account and you want to set goals and you say, okay, I want to my account to grow into $10,000 by the end of the year. But then don't forget that you withdraw from that same account yesterday. In second week, you withdraw again from that same account. You keep withdrawing, then you will not be able to attain your goal. Okay. One other thing you need to look at is be patient. Look carefully at the odds and wait for opportunities. Wait for probabilities, not opportunities. High probability opportunities. Do you understand? Always be patient in your trading. Don't rush it. Don't rush into the market. Don't rush. Wait patiently. Let the market set itself. Okay. The buyers are taking decisions right now. Okay, and the long-term goal is the buyers are on the move. That's the big trend of the market. Okay, and once the big trend is there, okay, you want to join the big trend, right? You don't want to trade against the big trend, because the big trend are where the big guys are. The guys with the money, the guys with huge amount of money. That is where they are. So you always want to join the big trend, right? Now, when the big trend is on the move, do you buy from the buyers or you wait for the sellers to set in? And when you begin to see slackness in the part of the sellers, then it's time for you to make a decision and say, okay, if the sellers get a sluggish movement during this support area, I'm going to join the big guys move. So wait, be patient, don't jump in at the wrong time. Okay, don't jump in too early, be patient and take your trade carefully. Okay, rule number 8, set your rules. I guess I need to show a picture one day, and probably in my next training, in front of my trading room. I have my rules there. I'm looking at it almost every day. All the days I'm looking at my rules. You understand? I set certain rules for myself. I must not do this, I must not do this. And if you're looking at it and staring at it, you want to guide yourself on your trading career. That is how to be successful. And number 9, don't learn strategies. Hey, you make a lot of mistakes with this. Don't learn strategies. Leave strategies alone. Learn the market and build your own strategy. Don't, because someone is telling you that the market formation on daily basis is M and W, and you begin to look for M and W, hey, you're going to lose your money, because you are not the one that creates the market. It is the market makers that makes the market. They created that formation there. And at every point in time, they can redirect that formation, because they know everybody is waiting for that point to get in. And once they have a high volume of people getting in, not the high volume of those who are in the market, the high volume of the numbers of people that are following that M formation, they need volatility in the market. And once you give them that volatility, everybody is getting in at that M position, they can go against you. The only time you're going to be successful with the M and W formation is when it is the big guy that is moving towards that direction, not when the big guy created it for you to get in. Do you understand? So try as much as possible to learn the market, know the buyers and sellers. There are no W and M in Alaba market. You only have buyers and sellers in the market. Understand the move of the buyers, understand the move of the seller. When it is sellers ready to sell, you go to Alaba market, you get to this shop and you say you want to buy an iPhone. It says, hey, I'm going to sell the iPhone for $5,000. Okay, no, I want the iPhone for $3,000. If you give me the iPhone for $3,000, I'm going to buy it. You understand? But it doesn't give you. You go to the next shop, right? These are things we do in the market, but we simply ignore them when it comes to the Forex market. Hey, if you give me for this price, I will buy it. He says, no, I'm not giving you for that price, right? You go to the second person. He's not giving you for that price. You go to the third person. He's not giving you for that price. He gives you, he said the only price I can give you is $3,500. And within yourself, you begin to look and say, okay, the benchmark I've been able to view at this point is $3,500. Everybody, almost everybody, is willing to give me at $3,500. Okay, when everybody start buying at that price, that is the benchmark for the sellers. They don't want to go below that price. And once you buy at that price, the people start coming in, people start buying. What happens to the price? The price started going up. That is logical thinking in the market. I'm not looking for W. If you apply all these concepts, the learning of the market, into your trading career and not the strategy, use it to build your own strategy, you will always win. You will always win. And on a final note, please kindly understand this. The biggest enemy to your trading success is not the market. It is you, my brother. It is you. You are the biggest enemy to your trading success. You can decide to make it work, and you can decide to make it crumble. As long as you follow all these steps, you are going to be successful in the forex market. A good trade is the one where you follow strict rules of the system. Follow the rules of the system. Buying and selling. You want to buy at the right time, you want to exit at the right time. You're not looking for too many profit and saying, if the trade does not get to this point, I'm not going to get out of the trade. And most times, if you enter the trade and say, okay, I'm contented with this profit, and once it hits your profit, you're looking at the extended part of the profit and say, oh my God, why didn't I get in? Why did I still remain in this trade? Hey, follow the system, my brother. Follow the rules of the system. A good trade is the one where you follow the rules of the system, and the one that that is the one that leads to profit. That is the one that leads to profit. If you follow the rules of the system, it will always lead you to profit. So far so good. We've been able to diagnose and look into the psychology of the market. So thank you very much for joining me today. I wish you all the best in your success in your trading career. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll be releasing trainings almost hopefully I'll be coming up sequentially to give trainings about the forex market and what you need to understand about the forex market. So it's going to be helpful for you, and I'm going to be doing that free of charge. I'm not charging you for anything. I'm not going to reduce the content of what I'm going to give you. So later on we could add charges to it, but for now I'm not sure in the possible next year if I'm going to still charge, but for now I'm not charging anything for it. I'm going to be releasing content and great videos about the forex market. So you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video if you love it, and if you want more, don't forget to turn on the notification bell, okay? And we'll catch you some other time. So if you have any questions also, you can leave in the chat below. I'll read into them and I'll be able to give you answers, or probably create a video content for that particular question. So I wish you guys best of luck. Have a great time ahead of you. Okay.